Once again, I'm just going to apologize and say next week will be better. Probably. Probably not. I had uploaded my files onto my computer, the video I had filmed of this, and then my editing software crashed, so we're starting over. And we are going to try to keep this as low on editing as possible, so promise next week it'll be better. Hello, I'm Alex once again, and this is Catcher Days with Alex. Weasley's not here today. He is somewhere roaming the house. This week's topic is dating while being trans, so let's get into that. I am currently single, but I have dated in the past while being trans. Each of those have been varying levels of good experiences and bad experiences. I currently identify as pansexual, but openly identify myself also as gay just because it is easier to explain. RuPaul says if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love anyone else? I think that is a good principle, but largely untrue. I believe that, especially as a trans person with dysphoria and depression, often it is hard to actively love yourself, but that doesn't mean that you can't love another person. However, despite that, I do think that it is important to note that you do have worth, and even if you are happy with your partner, you can be happy without your partner, and you shouldn't rely on your partner for your happiness because things can always change. And I do believe that it is important that we all recognize our own worth, but I do believe that you can still have issues with yourself and love someone else. You just shouldn't place your value on the other person. Relationships are about being equal, so don't push yourself below or above the other person in the relationship because that can lead to resentment. So yeah, since I actually watched the videos this week, I believe Sid said in his video that communication is key to any relationship, and I absolutely agree with that. It's actually in my notes on my phone. One of the key things to any relationship is communication, and that's really important because if you can't communicate with your partner, then what are you going to do? And that doesn't just mean voicing your opinions loudly and arguing. That also means being able to talk through things and being able to come to resolutions that suit both parties. If you are a trans person and you're dating another trans person, don't just assume because you would like your transition and your situation to be handled a certain way that they would also like it to be handled that way. For example, just because you would like your partner to use the correct pronouns even in front of strangers doesn't mean that your partner wants you to do the same for them. This comes back to communication, where you should really communicate about what you're comfortable with your partner regardless of if they're trans or if they're cis. Understand that everyone is different and everyone handles things differently, as well as everyone shows their love differently. So just because someone isn't showing love the way that you would show love doesn't mean that they don't love you. And just because someone isn't reacting to something the way that you would react to something doesn't mean that they don't care. And just because someone has a negative reaction to something that you wouldn't have a negative reaction to doesn't mean that they're overreacting. It just means that they're a different person and they have different triggers and different situations that upset them. And also, because everyone is different, understand that just because they don't feel the same way about you about something doesn't mean that they don't respect your love for something. And as the partner, just because you don't understand why they feel that way about something, understand that that's just their emotions. Basically, as different people, we don't have to feel the same way about things, but we do have to respect the way that others feel. On top of that, if your partner says that you've offended them, that doesn't mean that you were trying to offend them, but regardless, you did, so you should try to talk it out and explain your side and apologize for causing the offense. When being sexually intimate, always make sure that you discuss what you're comfortable with or what you're not comfortable with before you get into those situations. Before you get into sexual situations, it's probably best to tell your partner that you're trans by that point, regardless of if you're stealth or if you are closeted. That's just my onion though, so that's just my opinion. And as a partner, always respect your partner's wishes, regardless of if they're trans or cis, about what they wish to do inside the bedroom and what they wish to not do. Finally, if you're in a relationship and it's not mutually beneficial for both parties, it's best to just end it. Just like, don't stay in situations where you aren't happy or you know the other person isn't happy. There's no point in trying to hold on to something that the other person isn't trying to hold on to as well. And there's no point in having more negative energy in your life. If you're not happy or they're not happy, it's for the best, because there's other people out there that will make both of you happy. So just like, do you, and like live.